In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make money online in 2021 for free using Amazon KDP. That rhymes. And I'll also show you how you can make 2021 your best year yet and even help protect you and your family. Now, this involves publishing books on Amazon, but probably not the sort of books you're familiar with, because these books require little, if any, writing at all. And that's why they're called no content and low content books. And they've become increasingly popular and a more popular way to make money online over the last couple of years. And if you're already creating these, I'm going to give you a tip later on in the video, and also a challenge that you can follow along with me that will hopefully take your business to the next level. Sound interesting? Cool. Now, if you've not been here before, my name's Marles, and I do videos on how to make it, keep it, grow it, and that's your money I'm talking about. And if you do like videos like that, then please do give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and smash that notification bell to receive notification of when I produce more videos like this. And make sure your notifications are also turned on. Now, 2020 has been a year that many people want to forget, and for good reasons. And for a lot of people, it's been financially devastating. But for many who have an online business, it's been a really good year, especially for those that have been operating a business on Amazon. Now, despite the turmoils, Black Friday saw the second highest spending in online sales in its history. And in fact, many sellers were worried that they couldn't actually meet the demands of the public for buying products off Amazon. And in fact, they couldn't replace stock quick enough. And in a year where many people have actually been struggling financially, the sales on Amazon have actually skyrocketed, with some sellers seeing a tenfold increase in sales, which is amazing. And this is due to the pandemic forcing people indoors and spending online. Now, in 2021, worldwide, we're going to see the rollout of vaccines, but that's going to take time. But also, we're probably going to see more lockdowns and more restrictions in different places and countries around the world. But you see, the thing is, people's spending habits have changed, and probably permanently. You see, there are a lot of people who have never bought stuff online, surprisingly, but during this year, they've had to go online to spend money, to buy things. And so that pattern is probably going to now continue well into the future. Now, as you've probably experienced, there's no certainties anymore. And jobs that were once thought of as permanent are no longer permanent and can no longer provide that security that they have done in the past. Hard workers and savers have seen their livelihoods and their savings decimated. So it's important to protect yourself. And one of the ways you can do this is by creating a second income, or even by creating another income that could replace your full-time income, or if you're out of work, provide you with that full-time income. And you can do this online. Now, for many years, I wanted to create an online income, and I tried numerous different things, but then I came across this particular method, and I'm glad I found it because it's the only thing that has really worked for me. And when the worldwide panic set in, I found that I was protected. So I'm going to tell you a way of taking a slice off this big online income pie, if you like, because it's a huge pie, and all you really need is that small slice to create that second income or even replace a full-time income. Unless your lifestyle is Beverly Hills and driving Bugatti Veyrons, otherwise you might want to look at something else. So what is it? Well, as I mentioned earlier, it's these things called no content and low content book. And as I also said, you don't need to write thousands of words. In fact, for a lot of cases, all you need to know is how to spell the word notebook. Now, these are books like planners, notebooks, journals, business logbooks, and even things like puzzle books and colouring books. And they are making big money. Now, take for instance this journal, which is making over $1,600 a month, or even this colouring book, which is making over a staggering $12,000 a month. That's right, over $12,000 a month. And these books don't require any particular special skills and can be created on your computer with free software, and you can do these at home with your laptop, or you can do them from anywhere in the world for that matter. So if you have dreams of being a digital nomad, this could be a business for you. And these books don't take long to create at all. Now, a planner or journal like I've just shown you, you can easily create in half an hour to an hour. Now, I mentioned about the increase in sales on Amazon that a lot of retailers experienced earlier this year. And in fact, my income rose from $1,629 in January up to $3,350 in May. Now that was pure profit. Those are the royalties that were deposited into my bank account. And that wasn't because I'd created any more books. It was due to the fact that people had changed their shopping patterns and were now shopping online, and a lot of people purchasing on Amazon. And also, this was passive income, which I consider the gold standard of income, because I didn't need to do any extra work to create that income. That was just derived from books that I'd already published on Amazon. Now, if you're interested in seeing how that increase in income played out, I'll leave the links to the playlist above. So why is this business so good? Well, first of all, as you can see, the income or potential income is pretty amazing. Secondly, it requires minimal investment. In fact, there are free tools out there that you can use to create these books at no cost. An example of this is canva.com, where they have a design suite, and in this design suite you can design your covers and you can even design the interiors of the books. And in fact, I do have a Gumroad shop, which I'll leave a link to below, where you can download some free interiors for these books, so you can really get started straight away for no investment whatsoever, other than your time and a bit of electricity or battery power for your computer. Now, you only need basic design skills to create these books. You don't need to be a graphic designer, you don't need to be an artist. In fact, when I started, I had no graphic design skills at all. My background wasn't in anything like that. In fact, it was in medicine. So I came into this knowing very little on how to structure the designs of a book cover. But you can find the graphics for these books free on platforms like I've just shown you, like Canva. All that it really requires is just a bit of imagination. Now, you don't need to create physical books. These are all digital files that you create for the cover and the interior, and you upload these to Amazon, and they're stored on Amazon. Then when someone goes and buys your book, Amazon actually prints it out. And this is called print on demand. And the quality of these books is pretty good. And here's one that someone sent to me earlier this year. And you can see the interiors, it's a child's puzzle book. They are really good quality. So when someone orders, Amazon prints it out and sends it to the customer. So this is one of the other couple of big advantages I'm going to tell you about. And that is Amazon deals with all the postage and all the sending out to customers. They also deal with all the customer support and returns. So basically, once you've listed a book onto Amazon, it sits there for however long you want, and when someone buys it, it just gets printed out. So you can see why this is a passive income. Once it's there, it sits there just waiting to be bought and doesn't require any further work. So this sounds pretty perfect, eh? Well, it really is. There's no reason why, if you follow some basic rules, you can't create a good, solid side income, second income, or even, like myself, a full-time income. Unless, as I said, you have huge, expensive tastes. So if this interests you, I'm going to show you in a moment where to get started. But first of all, you need to make a goal, a commitment. Because if you're looking to make a change in your life, like creating another income, you need to be committed to doing it, because this business, like a lot of online businesses, just requires commitment and for you to do the work regularly. And so therefore, I often recommend to a lot of people is to have some sort of goal in mind. Now, a goal is like having a map and having that destination. Because if you haven't got a destination and you set off driving and following a map, you're not really going to know where to go. So creating that goal is the first step in achieving success at this business. Now, that goal doesn't have to be huge. It could be, in the next month, I'm going to create one book. Now, I did something similar with YouTube earlier this year. On January the 1st, I committed to making and publishing a video every day on YouTube for the next year. Now, I soon found out that it was a huge workload and I couldn't keep up with that daily upload, and it eventually became about 3 uploads a week. But the important thing was, and this is the crucial bit, I created that habit. After a month of creating those videos, it became a habit, and it was a habit that I then continued throughout the whole year and built this channel up to 15,000 subscribers. Now, if you're one of those subscribers, I thank you so much, because this has really been life-changing for me, and without you guys it just wouldn't have happened. So you see how making that, or having that goal and then making that commitment, can then get you onto the habit of creating regularly. And I think that's the secret to success in this business. Now, if you're already creating these books, I've got a bit of a challenge for you. Now, this is something I'm going to do as from January the 1st. And that is, for the month of January, I'm going to create a book a day and create the best quality book I can on that day. And so if you want to follow along with that, then let me know down in the comments that you're going to do that, and then we can all hold each other accountability, because that's another thing that can, or is essential for success, and that's having that accountability. If you tell someone what you're going to be doing, it becomes a lot more difficult then to fall off the path. And I think if you do that, you'll see a boost in the quality of your books, and also hopefully if you publish the right books, you'll see a boost to your sales, and hopefully see your business move up a level. But as I said, if you start and can't continue with it, going onwards after January, then that's not a failure, because you'll find that you have created that habit, and you'll probably continue then to produce books on a regular basis. And also, if you do have a goal for your publishing business in 2021, then please also let me know down in the comments, and I'll make sure I hold you to it. So if you're interested in starting this business, then write down that first goal, and that is to commit to creating your first book, and then create it and upload it to Amazon. And remember, when you do upload it to Amazon, you now become an author publisher, which will feel pretty good as well. So how do you get started with this? Well, I've got a playlist here on this channel, and I'll leave a link to it right here, which you can click on. And also make sure you do subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell, because I do produce a lot of free information on this business to help people like you who are interested in making an online income. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.